Hello, everybody. Welcome into a Wednesday edition of the Computer America Show. Got a great program lined up for you tonight. We're going to have Wix.com is here with us. Wix, of course, is the website that allows you to create your own websites and new things that we're going to be discussing tonight. Eric Mason is going to be here with us from Wix.com. And, of course, in hour two, the GizWiz, Dick DeBartolo, Mad Magazine's maddest writers. Got some great gadgets we're going to be discussing. That's all coming up on tonight's Computer America Show. So sit back, relax, enjoy the show, and we'll be starting in about 1 minute. Stay with us.
1 minute until showtime.
Thirty seconds.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Broadcasting live, it's America's longest-running national radio talk show on computers, Computer America, hosted by national columnist Craig Crossman. Look for Craig's weekly column in your favorite newspaper. This show is being beamed nationwide at ComputerAmerica.com. Keep it here for technology news, computer products, guest interviews, and your phone calls. You're listening to Computer America.
Hello, and welcome into the Computer America Show. It's the nation's longest-running, nationally syndicated radio talk show on computers. Computer America is heard around the world and coast to coast. And I'm your host, Craig Crossman.
And I'm your co-host, Ben.
And it's Hump Day. Okay.
I guess we're continuing that tradition.
Yeah, I guess so. Charles Tendell got me into that. He would always say it, and I would go no, and now he's got me doing it. So anyway, middle of the week show, and we got a great program lined up for you tonight. In hour two, we're going to have Dick DeBartolo, the GizWiz, Mad Magazine's maddest writer, and he's always a barrel of fun. He's got some fun stuff we're going to be talking about tonight. Actually, some of them are pretty unusual, like a set of wheels that you can control remotely. Well, what's that for? Well, you can put them. That's just that you can put them on anything, and mobilize anything. I mean, whatever you choose to do. He's got some really great gadgets, and as I said, he's going to be with us in hour two. And in the first hour, of course, we have Wix.com. Wix has been on the show before. They are the people for whom we are grateful in the fact that our website at Computer America has been created by Wix. It is a website that allows you to create your own websites. That's right, a website to make websites. But they've gone so much further. They make it so easy to do. And we're going to be talking about our website because it was created by Wix. And actually, we're in our second generation website now. And I think the second generation was even easier than the first generation, as easy as Wix is. They're adding new features, new things to do. And I'm very excited to have Wix here with us tonight. Of course, Ben, anything else you want to mention before we get started?
No, I think we should just get into it.
Okay. Well, if you have a comment or question or suggestion, you can give us a call at 347-884-8881. 347-884-8881. I'll get you on and get you through. We also have an email inbox when we're live and on the air. It is live, L-I-V-E, at computeramerica.com. You're also welcome to join us in our live interactive chat room. Just go to our homepage at computeramerica.com. It says interact with the show. Just click on the button there. It says chat and live video. You'll go to a split screen. On the left-hand side is our IRC chat room. It'll ask for a nickname. That's the name you'll be known by when you go in there. There's also a place for a captcha code. That just means that you're a live human being. Okay, it gives you a number or a couple of words. Put that in there so we know that you're not a bot of some sort. And click the connect button, and your browser will move you right into our chat room. There's also a button there for IRC clients. It'll take you to our free software page. Those basically are plugins for, depending on the browser you're using and the platform. It just formats a chat room more nicely. In other words, it makes its own window. It's not necessary to do, but if you find yourself participating in our chat room, the IRC clients are really nice. We've got Chatzilla and IRC chat. There's a bunch of them in there, so pick one. And also, sharing that same page as our chat room is our live Computer America video streaming page. Yes, and not only can you see myself and you can see Ben, you can also see our guests, and it is live. So we invite you to click on that and watch the show. And of course, all of our information is archived at computeramerica.com. It's on iTunes. It's on Blog Talk Radio. You can listen to them, or you can also watch all of our videos. They're archived as well on our very own YouTube channel. So you can watch all of our shows since we began doing the live Computer America video streaming page. So that's all there, and I think that's it. So let's get to our guest tonight. Now, as I said, Wix.com is a website that lets you easily create websites. Basically, Wix.com is being used as a tool by both small businesses, grads, to get more visibility for the company. Even themselves, small businesses use Wix.com to build their website because it's a do-it-yourself website platform that lets people with zero technical skills, literally, to build professional-grade websites and do it for free. So here with us is Eric Mason. Eric is Wix.com's Director of Marketing Communications. He's got some exciting news and details what Wix has been doing. Eric, welcome back into Computer America. How the heck are you?
I'm doing great, Craig. Thanks, and welcome. Great to be here. Hi, Ben. It's great to be back with you guys and have an hour. Thanks.
Yeah, exactly. So, listen, for people who might not be familiar with Wix, and give us a little bit of background. What is the history of Wix? When was it founded, and what was the initial vision of the founders? You know.
Sure. Well, you guys are a perfect example, but let me go back even further than my first time with you all, and this sort of the story of you guys building your website. The vision of Wix really started in 2006 with two brothers and their best friend. These three guys are actually in Tel Aviv, Israel. They are serial entrepreneurs, and they were well on their way to founding a new startup. One of the founders was sent off to build the website and came back about a week later and said, wait, I went out to try to build a website. I tried to hire a designer. I had tried to get a developer. I tried to do this quickly and easily, and there's not actually any tool out there that will allow me to build something beautiful and functional quickly and easily without technical skills. Now, remember, my CEO and these three founders are technical guys, but still they wanted to be able to just build something beautiful and easy to promote their existing startup. Well, they pivoted at that moment, and they actually said, you know, we want to provide a tool based on the need that we see, which is let's provide a tool that allows anyone to build something beautiful and easy, and to really sort of embrace the real promise of the internet, which was a real democratization of the internet, where anyone could get on and not just read the newspaper, but build something awesome, contribute content, start a business, build a beautiful blog, build a portfolio for your art. So they really started building a platform. They launched the first platform in 2008 and relaunched the platform on HTML5 almost 3 years ago now.
I think that was wonderful. When they went to HTML5, I don't know if you know this, Eric, but last night we did a news story that HTML5 was officially ratified. I
was going to bring that up and say this is great. 2.5 years ago when I was on your show, I was explaining what HTML5 was and why it was a big deal, and now, I read the same stories and have been doing some research on that as well, and it's great. It's great news that now they're talking about HTML 5.1 in next year. So.
Well, there you go. But even though it was officially ratified today, the point is people have been using it, and
exactly.
It's so wonderful because you don't have to use so many of the other plugins and things that could go glitchy. Because of what they were.
Oh,
And
come on, you can say the words Java and Flash. They're not curse words yet.
They're not curse words, but you know the goal, and I think this is really the promise of HTML5, from just to take the technology away from it for a second, is that it really was embracing the dream and sort of the evolution of the web as becoming more mobile, becoming more portable, and really a unifying. You know, the beauty of HTML5, and we led to launch a do-it-yourself tool to allow anyone to do this, was the fact that you could build a website once, and it would view on any platform, a phone, an Android or an iOS phone, a tablet, or your PC or laptop, and it could view on any browser, Safari, Internet Explorer, any of the browsers, Chrome. It would view perfectly on all those. So it wasn't only a feat for us to build this and to provide it to everybody. It was actually, I really congratulate the technology industry for unifying and getting together and going, you know what, we got to stop. We got to have one code, one language for everyone to communicate with. So
you would think that they had learned their lesson when they had Betamax and VHS.
Oh, yeah, right?
All these different standards, and they still do it. They still will come out with the standards, and like 5 different companies will have their own. They want to be the one that's, but at least with HTML5, that is unifying. It's all your browsers, all your platforms are all going to work with it, and it truly is. It is the way that the internet was intended to be, basically platform independent. You don't have to worry about what you're using, as you said, and that's what the promise of HTML5 brings to the internet.
Right, and that's the first platform that we talked about when I was on your show a couple years ago, and actually that takes me back to something you said earlier. I wanted to correct you. You said that your website was created by Wix, and actually your website was actually created by you.
That's
using our tools, but you guys did it yourself, and so I'd love to hear just kind of take me through the story, because I've only just looked at your brand new website recently. So I know that you built the first website. Tell me about the second website version. How was that for you guys?
Well,
all right, I got this one. This one starts way back when, and I, when I first started taking interest in the show and all that kind of thing, Craig was using a website that he actually, I assume, had professionally designed. Correct?
And it was and we used Front Page to do it at the time.
Front Page, professionally designed, and it was from 97, 2001, something like that. Really,
you could
dated
tell.
Would be an understatement. It was starting to produce oil, and so we had Wix on the show, and pretty much during the show, during the first hour that we actually had you guys on, I was actually able to log on, and thanks to one of your great features that you have, which is you can actually go on to Wix, create an account, and start designing a website without paying anything, paying up front, and you can just get in and start playing with it. And by the time the show was, the first hour with you guys was over, we already had pretty much a template set up of our new website. So that was the first iteration, which I was able to get done in about 3 days. Very easy, very simple, all that kind of stuff, and looked light years better than anything that was as dated as our old website. That was number one. Number two, fast forward 2 years later, because really, websites are timeless. Some of them kind of hold their look to it, but I think on average most websites should be updated probably every 2, 3, 4 years, just to get all the old information out and just start from the bottom up, get a new look, get a new feel for it. So hence website number 2 that we have, that you can currently go to, Computer America, and all of that was designed a second time around with Aaron Crossman, our webmeister, and the second time around even easier because we knew the way around. It was his first time using it, but he picked it up just
very quickly. Yeah, he picked it up very quickly.
Yeah, he picked it up just as quickly as I did, and the second time around, you guys added a lot of new features.
Yes.
The app market alone expanded leaps and bounds since we first created the website.
Right.
We love features. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was
I was like, I felt myself like a kid in the candy store. You added animations, so it's like a person.
Yeah.
Fonts for the first time, and you read their first letter, and it looks like it's a ransom note because they used every font that they could possibly have on that document.
You got to be careful with 2 things. I'm going to give 2 pieces of website advice. The first one is use your animations judiciously, and the second one is pick a font family and stick with it, because you get onto those websites where they're using 15 different fonts, and it can be a little, unless that's your brand or something, but Typically, you want to pick a family and stick with it. Just
I
a little website advice.
I was out of control. I had my my logo like an airplane propeller flipping around.
We had to rein Craig in pretty quickly on that, and I mean Craig really just going in and playing with it. He didn't really he was hands on with the content, but he wasn't really creating the website. But it still didn't stop him from going in and just playing with it would be the best word.
And I understand you can get serious, but Wix lets you have fun. That's one of the things that it's so fun to do, and it's so easy. Just let me just see what that looks like, and you do it, and you see it. Wow, that's great.
There's a couple of things here that I think are worth pointing out, and that's that Wix is the only real platform out there that gives you a true what you see is what you get platform. So it's a true web canvas. It allows you to drag elements anywhere on the screen. You're not restricted by the template that you choose. You can create anything, even from scratch, but you can take a template and keep 1% of it, keep 10% of it, keep 90% of it, and you can morph everything else around it. You can change every single element on a page. You can layer things one on top of each other, and that's totally unique in this what we call this template or the template website building area. All the others are built in blocks. Wix made a strategic decision to build ours in layers and allow you to have maximum flexibility, and that just sort of inherently makes you feel like a kid in a sandbox.
Yeah.
Because you can do anything, right? So, we try to give best principles and guidelines with our templates, but people can really stretch their imagination and stretch their creative prowess to create something that's unique for their business.
And boy, did I stretch! And I was it was so much fun, and I needed someone like Ben and Aaron kind of to rein it in, and of course the new generation now looks so professional.
Right. The new site looks beautiful. Actually, good job.
They did a terrific, and the thing is, we make modifications to it almost on a daily basis. We add new features, we add new abilities, and Wix allows you to do that. I want to get into a little bit of that too, but I want to just people understand now that obviously after the 2006 and the two guys and their best friend, the pace of change is evolving and accelerating. Now, I understand now Wix is a full-fledged international company with over 800 employees, 55 million users, in 12 different languages, 190 countries. I mean, how has the vision changed? How has the vision changed over the last 6 years and over the last year even?
So, I'd say in many ways the vision has stayed the same, which is to continue to provide the best-in-class tools for people to do something easily, but with a great amount of flexibility. So we feel like we've really found the balance point. I explained a little bit about that earlier, and you guys talked about the app market. I would say that the way that it's changed is that the demands and the requirements that small businesses need online has really grown exponentially as well. People expect and demand to be able to do more now than they ever did in 2008. In 2008, get a beautiful website, it looks pretty, you never touch it, no big deal. Today, you need to have a mobile site, you need to be optimized for SEO, you've got to have these great applications. Increasingly, what we've been trying to do is to build in not just the ability to create a beautiful site. We've got that mastered. Of course, we continue to improve the platform, but really the ability to manage and to grow a business online and to take in all the aspects that means: sending beautiful email newsletters, collecting data of your users in the back office of your website and being able to manage that data. One of the things that we just launched is a new vertical called Wix Hotels, which actually allows a hotel owner, a small hotel owner, a bed and breakfast owner, or a vacation renter to actually build a beautiful website, but then with a simple click to actually embed a whole booking engine into the back end of their website and allow them to actually build out their entire room inventory, allow them to manage that inventory, and allow their users to come to the website much like they would on a high-end online version on an Expedia or something and search for available rooms. They'll immediately find the rooms that are available. They'll be able to book those rooms and pay for them right there. Those rooms show up in the back office of the website owner, and he or she can manage their entire business right from that place. The beauty of this is that now that small business owner owns those contacts. They get to develop that relationship with those visitors that are coming to their hotel right from the very start. They get to send them the specials, they get their email addresses, they get that communication immediately. They not only get to manage their business online, but they get to build those relationships, which are so important to a small business. And so that's the sort of thing that Wix is really how they've changed. The vision's the same, but what we've had to do to keep the vision real is expanding all the time because the demands of small businesses are getting greater and greater all the time.
And you have these specialized small business vertical applications like hotel reservations.
Right.
That is amazing. So you don't, these small businesses are competing with the Hiltons and the Marriott.
Absolutely.
But when they have full-time IT people working, you know, you have a small business, you can't afford to do that. But now, because Wix is going vertical with these small business vertical applications that you can add to it, that really is amazing, and it's called Wix Hotels. I know, just to back it up a little bit, you actually developed different apps so that you can, so you would interface with contact forms and some of these other websites. You made agreements so they can integrate all that seamlessly into the Wix website with very, very little effort. And now that you're going, and now you're taking it to the next level, it looks like.
We are definitely taking it to the next level, and one of the things I'll tell you that we just announced this morning is we actually just had an acquisition this morning. So in some of these cases, we're developing the tools ourselves. In other cases, it makes sense to go out and find small teams that are creating these things already. So we actually acquired a small company today called OpenRest. It stands for sort of open restaurant.
Yeah.
And it's a set of tools that are very similar to what we're providing for Wix Hotels. But what we're going to do is we're going to take their existing technology and integrate it in with Wix and provide over in 2015 another one of these verticalized solutions. But this one, not for hotels, but instead for the food service industry, for the 350,000 independent small restaurants just in the United States. So they can manage inventory, they can manage their outbound campaigns, they can do point of sale campaigns, they can actually manage a mobile app, a native iOS or Android app, and do that all through a do-it-yourself platform. So we're really excited about these vertical solutions coming together, and then like you said, the ability to stitch together different apps in the back office to really start to form what essentially becomes a CRM. I don't know if you guys know what that means, but it's a sort of a customer relationship management tool.
Sure.
So, you know, a beautiful front end, but then the ability to manage e-commerce and newsletters and, you know, all the data that comes into that and do it easily.
And again, all of this was only available to the large corporate, you know, the big chains, you know, like, you know, Chili's and I mean, I was just seeing this thing that Chili did were, but it must have cost them a fortune to do that. And now the small restaurants can go to Wix and do it themselves and do it extremely easy. These small business vertical applications, you started with the hotels, and now you're looking at the restaurant industry. What other? I don't want you to talk about anything you can't talk about. But
are you like getting interest from these sectors, and you're like, okay, well now we should really develop an app for this, or are you just saying, okay, what sectors are there a lot of small businesses? Because you know the two that you just named, you know, between a bed and breakfast and you know mom and pop, you know, bakeries and places like that, they are really focused on small business. Like, is that where you're going for? Just those?
You know, that's a great question, Ben. So it's actually both. So one of the things that we're doing is we're looking at the different sectors sort of strategically, but as with everything that we do at Wix, we're actually listening to what our users are asking us for, and that's really in many ways driving the things that we're developing. We're looking at, you know, we have 55 million users. We're looking at that set of users that are in the hotel industry. We're looking obviously at the demographics of that industry and what's there and what's being provided, but we're also getting the user feedback saying, God, if I had a booking engine and I could do this all in one place, I'd be much happier. It'd streamline my business. It would empower me to spend more time with my customers. Same thing with restaurants. We've got, you know, we estimate that we've got about 100,000 restaurants on Wix. Most of them for their reservations use an email form or a phone number.
Oh, wow.
It's like 1999, right? So we realized if we could integrate a sophisticated reservation system, a point of sale system, a loyalty app, and let them build that, and we were of course, they were asking us for it, but we also went out and did our own market research. So it's really both things. We're looking at where the need is and then trying to fill that need, but then trying to really fill that need in a way that the users are asking for it to be filled. Not something complex, not something convoluted. It's, you know, Wix Hotels is for small hotels. It's not for the Hilton.
No, exactly. But those small hotels and the independent restaurants, you know, they must love you. I mean, to be able to do something like that, because before, you know, you had to go to, you had to have the big bucks, and you just couldn't. How do I compete with all those big restaurants? And now with Wix, you're enabling them to compete.
And I'll make another point about that. One of the things that the Expedias and the Travelocities and the Grubhubs and the food industry do is, they help you with that booking. They help people find you, but they also take a commission.
Oh.
And that can be a killer for a small business whose margins are razor thin. I've got 2 siblings that are in the restaurant industry, and I can tell you, and I grew up putting myself through school in restaurants. It's tough. It's tight, and the same is true. My parents before I was owned a hotel. And it was tight, it's not easy. So anything we can do to help them sort of level the playing field for one, and I think there's always going to be a place for the Grubhubs and the Travelocities, but if they can actually start to convert some of those users and some of that user loyalty to themselves, then we hope to be able to give that power to them.
Now, how do you let them know? I mean, if you're a restaurant website or something, are you letting people know, hey, we've got some of these new tools specifically for your industry? Obviously, or you have to let them know you go to media sites, shows like myself, and we're talking about it.
Yeah.
I would think you have some direct mailing. You know what kind of websites are doing, and you're letting them know that these things are available?
We have 55 million users. Most of those people have email addresses, so we have a large mailing list. We know what people are using, what platforms, and so we try to let people know. One of the things about Wix is that we don't sell these things. We give away most of these products for free, at least initially, to let people use them for as long as they want. You guys know this from the website. All the tools are there for free. Yep. You guys upgraded to a premium platform, but we really believe that, of course, we go out and market them. We want people to understand that they're there because we think that they're viable, inexpensive, in many ways free solutions. But it's important to understand that for most small businesses, they've been for a long time either told they couldn't do it or have been too afraid to sort of engage with the technology because they've seen how cumbersome it can be. Yeah. So there is this sort of this onboarding process for a new business. Even you guys, when I talked to you the first time, you were like, no way. Ben was like, I'm not coding another website, dude. That's going to be hard. I do not want to do it because I'm not going to get into that back and forth with my dad and a designer.
There's a barrier there.
I had got him a copy of Dreamweaver. It's a $400 program from Adobe.
Yeah. And I still use it. Thank you very much.
Good for you, man. Little coding's not going to hurt you.
Definitely not. But I mean, like, there's a barrier there where, I don't want to say small business owners, they're not always, the youngest and the most tech savvy. If you're trying to be a handyman, you know how to build a shed, but you don't know how to build a website. So there's like that unknown, and when people don't know things, they tend to avoid them.
But Ben took right to it. He took right to it and just started. He created the first website, the first generation that we did with Wix, like in an evening and one night. He had it all done, and of course we tweaked it and fixed it. But he had it all done. I looked at this and I said, "Oh my gosh!" I think he did it in a day.
Yeah.
A day.
Yeah. It's pretty extraordinary. And while Ben fits our sort of one of our main demographics, Craig, frankly, you fit our other main demographic, which is someone who's like, wow, this happened, and when I got the phone call from you, I got another phone call on that same day from my sister who'd listened to the program and also went out and built her own website. But the sense of relief that you hear in people's voices when they realize that this thing that they thought left them behind, this technology gap that they saw widening, has suddenly narrowed for the first time. And in fact, not only narrowed, they're like, this is mine. I'm doing it. That is the best part of my job, is going out and hearing and seeing what people can do, because people are awesome. They got amazing creative ideas, and they just want to have the opportunity to swing that hammer and build that amazing thing. And so the fact that we've been able to give a great set of tools to people and let them create and have some fun in the process, I think it's awesome.
No.
It's never easy to create a website, and I'm not talking about the tools that we provide. I'm talking about understanding your audience,
sure.
Getting the right images, building in all the things you need. But if we can make it easier and remove the technology barrier,
right,
then we just leave the hard entrepreneurial work that you need to do to you. And you know what? Sorry, small businesses out there. No one gets away from that. You all have to do that work. You got to test your recipes. You got to look at your photographs.
Right, and that's very true. But as you say, Wix makes it easier. But also, I mean, you also have templates too, so you don't have to start with a blank screen. Wix has have all these different templates, so you can see something that you sort of like, and it kind of appeals to you, and then you can modify it and you can change it and add to it. So you don't have to start from scratch.
Right. Yeah, and we find that many people get in and do some very, very light edits. We have over 550 templates now. There's more being created every week. They're wildly flexible, but many people get in and they want something quick and dirty, 3-4 pages. Get me the home page, get me a contact page, and maybe get you, an events page or whatever. It depends on what you're building, but it's the ability to get in and do something quick and easy is great. We also provide along the way, obviously, video tutorials and sort of the online support that you might need built right into the editor. But I'd say the other thing that's cool about Wix is that we allow you to, like just recently we launched a thing where you can actually plug in your Picasa, Facebook, Instagram images right in through the back office. So when you go to add a photo, it'll say, do you want to connect your Facebook photos? Do you want to connect your Picasa photos, your Flickr photos? And those immediately, once you sign in, those load into your media library, and then you can pick and choose from any of those pictures. So let's say you're building a wedding website, and all the great pictures of you and your fiance are on Facebook. You don't have to go download them and upload them anymore. You can just connect those things together. In addition to that, we provide a bunch of imagery, and we provide a bunch of symbols for like Twitter and Facebook and LinkedIn, a bunch of different clip art that we allow people to use that's royalty free. So we try to make the process as easy as possible all the way along the line.
And you do a terrific job with it too. It really is. I mean, it really is like a giant sandbox. You can go in there and play, see what yourself. And as you say, you have over 500 different templates. You can get some ideas, see what people are doing, see what examples, and then you can just modify it, change the font, change the buttons. You can change anything and everything literally on this. Listen, Eric, we're at the bottom of the hour break.
Okay.
And, we're going to take a little break here. I want to talk about this new website that Wix has created called CreateTheStars.com.
All right, awesome.
I love this website. I've been playing with it. It's amazing. So if you're just joining us, Wix.com. Eric Mason is here with us talking about Wix and all the new changes. And it's HTML5 now. He's the Wix.com's Director of Marketing Communications. You're listening to the Computer America Show on the Blog Talk Radio Network, on the Boost Radio Network, on the IRN Radio Network. We're going to pause for some commercial messages. A News Bulletin review live coming up next. Stay with us.
Hey everyone, have you heard about the No hair removal device that's sweeping the globe? If you want to go weeks without shaving and get smooth, professional quality results, here's our favorite host, Cheryl, for No hair removal.
Thanks. Hey gals, I love talking about my No. It's this cute little hair removal system that you can take with you and use almost anywhere at home or on the road. No more expensive in-office treatments, painful waxing, and no more wasting your valuable time. Got unwanted facial hair? No has patented thermocon technology that works on all hair and skin colors, so it's perfect for using on all body parts. And now you can take advantage of this incredible risk-free trial. Get the No, the facial kit, a travel case, and a $100 discount shopping card, and you don't risk a penny to try it. Try the incredible No hair completely risk-free. Call 1-800-953-5415. That's 800-953-5415. 800-953-5415.
Hi, this is Craig Crossman, host of the Computer America Show. You have important meetings to schedule. Your company's getting ready for its IPO, and you're in charge of the PTA fundraiser this month. So how do you coordinate everyone to be available at the same time? Are you still using emails, phone calls, even text messages to schedule meetings with a group of people? How's that working out for you? Not so great, huh? It's a fact that every day, millions of people suffer from scheduling headaches. Well, with Doodle, scheduling meetings with a group of people is quick and easy. With Doodle, you can easily propose available times to each member. Each one checks off the times that they are available, and then you simply pick the time that works best for the group, all in an easy-to-read display that integrates with your existing calendar. Nothing could be more simple. Give Doodle a try for free, and like millions of Doodle users, you'll truly see how easy it is to find the perfect date and time for all your meetings. That's www.doodle.com.
Good evening. This is Marty Winston with a News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America. This time, the TechSling technology holsters. Now, how do you carry your gear? Is it in a backpack or your pockets, a messenger bag or a purse or a merce? We got in an alternative, the TechSling. It puts fairly flat, padded pouches on either side of your torso using a strap arrangement that we're pretty sure originated with shoulder holsters. For people who need tablets and handsets and other paraphernalia always with them, which, for example, isn't unusual in patient care, law enforcement, or other professions, it's a handy and unobtrusive way to tote it all. It also makes sense for travel. Now, they sent two. The standard TechSling is water repellent. Water can still get inside, just not through the sides. And it's big enough to hold a full-size iPad, for example. They also sent the TechSling Sport. Not water repellent, but instead breathable and able to fit slightly larger tablets and gear. So bottom line, TechSling and TechSling Sport body-side holsters give you both protection and quick draw access to your gear. This is Marty Winston with a News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America.
Welcome back to the Computer America Show. By the way, at the very beginning of that News Tip Bulletin Review, that was like a Dracula, kind of deal, not a yawn.
That was for in deference to Halloween coming around the corner. Yeah,
very much so.
Coming up.
Yep. Oh, yeah, only 2 more days. Kids are going to be assaulting my door. Eric Mason joins us from Wix, and we're talking all about the service and some of the new features. But right before we get to the new feature, I kind of wanted to, go over again how great is that templates, because one of the things that I think a lot of people can get if you just gave them a service and said, here's what you can do, go get them. You kind of run into the blank canvas thing where you get like writer's block or website creator's block, whatever it's called, and you don't know what to do. So with the templates, you can kind of see, oh yeah, that kind of appeals to me, and then you can change the color scheme, the banners, the fonts, the pictures, change it all to everything you like, and you
change everything.
It's not going to look the same as a template because eventually along the way you're going to change stuff all around. But it really helps to, kind of prevent that whole, I've never made a website before, but, and I don't even know where to start. So just the templates is a really great way to get over that fear.
Yeah, and as you start changing things, and you see how it changes and how easy it is, And the nice thing about Wix is too, if you make a change and you save it, not all is lost because you can go back. You can go back iteration after iteration. You can.
Oh my God, that feature saved us. Aaron was working on it, and he called me, and he was like, "Oh my God, Ben, I've been working on the website for 4 hours, and it saved. Something happened. It glitched, and everything is gone. 4 hours of work, and like you could just hear him banging his head against the wall." And I'm like, that seems like such a common thing. Wix has to have something to prevent that. And, one quick, Google search later, and you guys have a thing. It's like a time capsule kind of deal.
Yeah. It's called Revision History, and we keep a log. If you loved the website you had a year ago, you can actually go back and revert back to that or see that website. So we save the website periodically, and so if you did something yesterday and you loved it, or hated it, or just wanted to recall it, you can actually go back and see that. So, it's a basic sort of core thing that you've got to have in any kind of design is the ability to revert back, to step backwards, and go back to your earlier revision. So yeah, we added that just quickly after we launched the HTML5 editor. And the other simple version of that is just the undo button at the very top of the editor. There's a little circle that goes in the background, so you can actually just step backwards. So that's the one that's in the edit. That's directly in the other. The other one is a longer term thing that you can go back and revert back to an older version.
You don't burn any bridges. In other words, you can't do anything because you can always undo what you did, which I love.
Well, I mean, like I think a lot of people have that fear. After you do it once, if you're making like a Word document and you're writing a paper, it's like, you become paranoid and you save it every 3 minutes. And then there are people who have not been burned and they, work all night on their paper, and then they, the power goes out and they just lost, 8 hours of work.
But again,
This is really the beauty of having a software that's based in the cloud, right?
Yeah,
I mean, things get backed up, and we try to make those things as security proof, both from you and from those eventual the power outages as possible.
Yeah, I want to stress that again. Wix is not an application you're running on your computer. It's you use your browser to access it. It's in the cloud. So if you had a power failure, whatever, you don't have to worry about losing anything because it's not where you are. It's in the cloud. So it's
yeah. And that's a great point for those who maybe don't understand fully what the cloud is. What's amazing about Wix is when you pick a template and you hit edit, you'll actually see these 5 little bars sort of start to cycle through right in your browser, and that's actually the software loading, not on your computer, but loading in the cloud. So everything you're doing is on software, not located. You're not downloading the $400 or $500 Dreamweaver suite onto your computer. You're not storing your website on your computer. It's somewhere else. Which the beauty of that is that means you can access it anywhere. Yes. Anywhere you go, you're out on the road and you get a username and log in, and you can actually make edits to your website on the fly wherever you're at. So that ability to be in the cloud is a great security thing, but it's also a great accessibility thing, allowing you to collaborate and to work with others remotely. I mean, I know you guys share the user login, and you can see what each other have done, and so it's cool.
So I want to talk a little bit about this. Tell us about the Wix freemium business model and how that works.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Wix is based on as I've told you guys already. So we have a little over 55 million users. About 1.3 or 4 million of those are paying users. It's about 2% conversion rate. So about 2% of the people who come to Wix and use the product for free actually are using our premium services. So that means when their business matures to the point where they want, and we don't have a sales team, we don't ever try to upsell any of these things. We just let people know that they can connect to the domain name, they can get e-commerce, they can get the little Wix branding on the bottom taken off with our premium services. But we provide for free all of the design tools, all the templates, all the color palettes, all the fonts, all the animations, everything that you love about Wix, we provide for free. When you launch that site, we give you a free domain URL with that as well. It would be yourdomain.wix.com. So we give you a free, obviously a Wix branded URL, but that's free. You can keep that website for as long as you want. It also has a little branding along the bottom that says powered by Wix. When your business or endeavor is ready to upgrade to a premium model, it's anywhere from $5 to $25 a month, depending on what package you pick. And you can point your domain or get your domain from us, and we essentially then become your host. The thing that's great about this, obviously, it's amazing to have over 1 million paying customers. Yeah. But what I think is actually equally amazing, and maybe even more amazing, is to have 50-some million free customers. Because while that relationship with them is amazing, they provide us a great deal of value. Ben, you asked earlier, how is it that we know what people are wanting and what they're desiring? We have 50 million people. We get to see what they want. So it's not just the premium users that we get to see how they're interacting with the editor, but it's all these free users as well. So that allows us not only to see what new features they might want, but also how they're interacting. Are the animations loading smoothly? Are people wanting more photo galleries? It's that constant feedback with the users that's so important to how we develop the product. So the freemium model for us, it doesn't just work as a financial model, it really works as a development model because it gives us more and more access to users that allow us to get greater feedback, and that feedback goes into what we call continuous development. It allows us to get the feedback, and we develop new products right back based on that feedback. And so it's critical to how we've run our business, really, because the more people we can hear from, the better our decision making is going to be.
Exactly. Now I want to really stress this, so I'm going to put it in the form of a question, but I want people to understand this. I mean, Wix has built a unique product and value proposition around being code-free. You stress code-free over and over because before you had to understand HTML coding, and that's why you had things like Dreamweaver. So I want you to say, I'm going to answer the question. Is it really possible to build a viable and robust business website and infrastructure without having to know any coding at all?
Do you want the long answer?
Sure. Or the short one.
All right, are you guys ready?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, it is. It is possible. Now, let me caveat that by saying we've spent a great deal of our resources making sure that the very sophisticated technology that makes me conclusively be able to say that yes, it is possible to build a beautiful, robust, functional, scalable website without code. We have 850 people working at Wix. Half of those people are developers and coders. Mm-hmm. So the tools that we've built take coding to build, but we've purposefully built them easy to use. I think I said this to you guys once before. You know, Steve Jobs once famously said, "If the technology is good enough, it just disappears." Yeah. We continually balance this ability to build things that are beautiful and functional and easy to use, but it takes tons of technical skill to be able to do it. So while yes, it is, I'm not advocating for people to not learn coding if they love that and they want to become a developer. Wix is not putting developers out of business. We're looking for great developers. If you're a great coder, go to our jobs page. If you're a great developer, go to our jobs page. The tool that we've developed that allows so many millions of people to access the internet is a driver for small business, it's a driver for economy, and frankly, it's a driver for more and more developers to be into the space. We have tons of development resources in Israel, where we're based, but we also have them in Lithuania. We've got them more and more happening here in the United States because developers are key. We're a technology company that makes a really easy-to-use product for people like you, but it's a technology problem that we're solving, but we're doing it so that people everywhere can have this access to the internet to be able to get on and to contribute and to be part of this amazing thing that's really transforming who we are as a society. So it's completely 100% possible to build an awesome website. You guys are testament. You've done it, so you know the answer. But some people often say, well, that you're trying to get rid of all the coders and developers. It's like, actually, it's quite the opposite. If you're a great coder and developer, come work for us. Nice. We need you to be developing apps for us. That takes coding, but those apps have to be easy to use for the lion's share of the world that so often has been alienated from the technology, that needs the expensive Dreamweaver, so or coding or expensive software tools. So it's completely possible. That's my short answer, and the long answer is this is really a virtuous cycle of things that we need. Developers and coders are absolutely needed to continue to create accessible, easy-to-use tools for the masses.
That's it. Okay. So let's give a little example of this, because I want to talk about Create, which has been powered by Wix. And why don't you tell us what is Create and why launch a campaign like this? Because this is just amazing. I've been playing around with it. It's totally created, developed by Wix.
Right. So it's actually a short-term campaign. This isn't going to be something that's going to be happening for forever. But as it's really obvious, Wix is all about helping people create and get online that have never had the opportunity. So our CMO had the original idea, and it was both a fun idea, but one we felt like that would help us get our message out. And so we decided, and we can talk a little bit more about this, but both for small businesses and for big businesses, we wanted to do an online campaign that sort of embraced our core passion, which is helping people create something beautiful. We wanted to do something that felt good to people online and that was meaningful, but then we also wanted to have an offline component. So the online component is, if people who are listening go to createthestars.com, it's www.createthestars.com.
And I'm putting that link in our chat room.
Great. Right? We've created an interface where it allows anyone to go in and to basically create a star and to dedicate it to someone who's meant something to them, and then just with their finger or with their mouse, drag it into the sky. Now this is a virtual sky, a virtual universe that we've created online. It allows you then to see that star and to share that dedication with others. At this moment, we've got over 65,000 people who've dedicated stars to loved ones, to pets that have passed away, to sixth grade school teachers, to best friends, and it's been a really meaningful, fun way to sort of share our essential passion, which is allowing people to create. So in many ways it was a branding exercise, but it was also an opportunity for us to just do something fun. The second part of this, however, is even more cool.
Yeah.
This Saturday night, the day after Halloween, we are actually going to take this virtual sky of stars, and we are going to put the stars back into the New York City skylight, or skyline. So the one thing that New York has got is, well, New York has everything. The one thing it doesn't have is stars. So what we are actually doing is we're actually building a real-time apparatus, which is going to basically project the universe of stars, the cosmos, onto the night sky in New York City. So if you show up into Madison Square Park between 7 p.m. and midnight, I was out at the park today. The installation's in the process of happening, and I can tell you, people who've lived here their entire lives, one guy in particular came into where I was working today, and he says, "Hey, is that you guys in Madison Square Park?" And I said, "Well, yeah, it is." And he says, "I've seen every installation that's ever gone in, and that is the biggest thing I've ever seen."
Jeez.
So it's essentially going to be this state-of-the-art 3D Christie's projection against this giant canvas that's going to be stretched across the park. It's going to be an amazing moment, and it's going to be a moment where you can come into the park and you can actually use your phone to create a star and then swipe that up and watch that star launch into the sky above your head and see it add itself to the universe of stars. So we've had a great time with it. We think it's going to be really fun. There'll be a video afterwards, which I'll share with you guys that you can share with your community. But you know, it's part of Wix increasingly becoming a household name and a brand. And it's important for us to get our message out there and how easy it is to create. So we thought this was a nice, feel-good way of doing it, and we've had a ton of fun with it. Wix is big into interacting both online and offline with our users. You know, we have an amazing online community, but we host two co-working and event spaces, one in San Francisco and one in New York, and we send teams out across the United States and in Brazil and other locations to actually teach classes, to help people with small business ideas and best principles, and help them with web design and getting online. So, you know, this creation of online and offline, this sort of back and forth between doing amazing things online but then engaging with your users offline, it's a principle that we use, but I will tell you, for all your small businesses out there, it's think about how you can do that yourself. Building a great website is one piece, but you know, throwing parties or being involved in benefits and actually being out with your community is the other piece that we think is really important, and it gives us a connection with our users and the community that's been really helpful.
I mean, for one, I thought Alpha Centauri was just going to be a dream forever, so that's really great to know that and create my own song.
We've also had some comedy stars launched in there, I will say.
It's, I mean, just engaging outside. I mean, you hear about all these companies, and most of them are cloud-based. You don't even know if they exist, and
right,
you know,
anywhere.
Yeah, you don't even know if there are even people. It could be, you know, just someone in a basement somewhere who's just, you know, saying that they're, you know, everywhere. But, you know, the fact that you fly people out and teach classes, and real quick about these classes, I mean, are you teaching these classes to, like, you know, your local community college, and you go in and they kind of share, you know, how to build websites using Wix, or what are these classes
The configurations are all different. So in a lot of places we actually have large groups of users, so we actually call them sort of user meetups, and we'll actually go out and teach people who are on our mailing list in Austin or in Los Angeles or in Chicago, and we'll just send out an email to the 20,000 users in the Chicago mainland area, and they'll come down and we'll pick a theme. Maybe it's search engine optimization, or using great photographs, or you know, great UI experiences to help drive your business, or how to drive e-commerce. So we pick a theme and we teach on that theme for small businesses, and we're out there, you know, a couple times a quarter in different places, and we do those 3 or 4 nights a week in New York and San Francisco. The other things we'll do is that we will sometimes go out and just partner with other groups. We'll go into colleges, particularly here in the New York area, but in other places, and teach classes. They could be K through 12 classes. They could be college classes. We actually have a class going on here in New York at an old folks home, at a senior citizens home, where we're actually teaching folks that are in this residence how to use the web for the first time. And I can tell you I haven't been to the class, but the class actually, their Wi-Fi went down this week, so they couldn't teach the class. But the gals here in the New York office were like, "You have to go to this class." And I was like, "Why?" And they said, "Because we have like these 90-year-old people building websites, and it's awesome." And so it's pretty inspiring. I mean, again, I think that you know, there would have been a time when they would have said, you know, a 90-year-old is not going to be building any website, but we see people of all ages building them, and our education classes try to touch those places where we see a need. So if it's K through 12 and a bunch of fifth graders who are building classes with their teacher, we come in and help them out. If it's small aspiring businesses who need help with search engine optimization or just basic web design, we come in and try to help them with that, or optimizing their site for mobile or whatever it might be. So really runs the gamut, and it's a lot of fun. I've taught a bunch of these classes, and I'm always really delighted to do it. So
that and it amazes me that I've never really heard of that one. I mean, like a couple, like, this is before my time at all, but I remember, I don't really remember, but I remember people telling me, especially in the chat room, about, back in the 80s, you'd have, with technology and learn technology, you'd have these meetups about people coming in, sharing code with each other, just kind of meeting up, and Craig might have actually been a part of a couple of those, but just coming in, sharing, learning together, and it really does, I think the internet is really great at building communities, but also kind of, keeping people at arm's length. But the fact that you can go in with people, show them hands-on, face-to-face, is a great service, for Wix to provide.
And I will tell you, one of the reasons that I'm not in our beautiful new sound studio over at the Wix Lounge, which is our New York space, is because essentially I got kicked out of there tonight because there was both a happy hour for our Wix Lounge users so that they could network together, and then after that there was an art opening. So there's like 150 people at the Wix Lounge right now, and I'm not there because we're so into the community that he can go somewhere else and do the interview. So this is a really important part of us. I mean, Wix is a big company, but one of the things that I've appreciated so much in being a part of this, and I think that you guys probably feel the same way, is it feels to us like a family. And even though it's you're right, online companies can start to feel at arm's length. And we try to do everything we can to make sure we keep that connection with our users. We can't touch, obviously, 55 million people offline, but we certainly do our best to do what we can where we can and keep that connection. So,
like, I've never gotten the feeling through using Wix, even when I had to do support. Although your support is automated, but I say automated in the best way. I mean, it's very succinct, and there are videos showing exactly how to do it. But right. I mean, Wix has really seemed, it's never out of the point where you think to yourself, what exactly is Wix anymore? It's never gotten, too big. What am I doing on this website? Right.
Well, Ben, you've probably never gotten to the point because of your technical skills and acumen to actually need our phone support, but we actually do.
Oh, you do.
We have 100 phone agents in San Francisco, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. 1-800-6000-WIX is the support line. You actually can call from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Pacific time, and that support happens in several different languages, but we've talked about this before. The support's really in layers. We build the support into the editor, then we have online, email, and then finally phone support, because there's times when people just have questions. So we've really tried. Again, this is part of the feedback loop. As soon as we see that people are having a problem, our design team's going to work not just designing the solution, but then also designing the video, making sure there's a forum, what we call answers area, where they can get answers to that question, that the staff in the phone center has that answer and is versed on what the solution is. So, yeah, we try to do everything we can to make sure people have the answers where they need them.
Well, I'll tell you what, Eric. I mean, there's so many things happening here, and I got to tell you, it was a real pleasure having you here on the program. And time flies when we're having fun here, and hopefully we're going to see you again next month. And
I hope that's the case as well. I'm looking forward to it.
All right, again, and it's Wix.com. If you go to our show notes page at ComputerAmerica.com, you'll see tonight's show, October the 29th, and you'll see Wix.com. You'll see the logo, and you can click the link, and you can access it yourself. That stays up for all time, and of course, if you're watching the archive, you can see all that at ComputerAmerica.com. Just go to the archive menu on the top of every page at ComputerAmerica.com, and you can see this over and over again. And again, if you're watching us on our video, you can see behind the scenes. I had my little dog up here, showing.
She looked good.
Yeah, she looked good, exactly. Well, Eric, listen again.
Real quick, by the way, what I was thinking of was user groups.
User groups. That's right.
That was it. Yeah, user groups. Before Ben's time, user groups. I remember user groups.
Listen, you're in New York or anywhere in the country or the world, createthestars.com and come out to Madison Square Park on November 1st, 7 to midnight. It's going to be fun.
All right. All right, Dick. Eric, thank you so much. Well, Dick DiBartolo just appeared. That's why I said that. Yeah, thank you so much for being with us here on tonight's show.
See you guys.
And
thanks.
Have fun, and we'll catch you soon. Okay, take care.
All right. Bye-bye. See you,
Bye-bye.
man.
All right. www.wix.com.
I hope we didn't make him miss the art opening.
No. No.
He could have sat in the middle of the art gallery and just been like, "Shh, no, I'm on the air. I'm on the air. Shh, quiet."
Exactly.
Just have 150 people hush.
We could have done that. Listen, we've got coming up in hour 2. We've got Dick DiBartolo, the GizWiz, Mad Magazine's maddest writer. He's in the Hangouts right now. He's standing by, and he's got some great stuff. I'll tell you what. I'm just going to see if I can reboot just the Hangouts window and go back, because I'm getting all kinds of indications here because it's upgrading. But I wanted to make sure that everything went nice and smooth, which it did. Again. Don't forget that our contests are up now in full swing at ComputerAmerica.com. Just go to our contest page, and you'll see our Logitech contest. We've added something new. Yet again, we have a form. You don't have to send an email anymore. We even added a comment area, so you can put comments if you want to in your entry. We're giving away 3 great prizes from Logitech, and the contest started on Monday. But you don't have to go through the emails anymore. You can just go right there on our contest page at Logitech, enter in our contest, and it's completely private. We don't give the information out to anybody unless you're a winner, and then if you're the winner, we'll give the info to Logitech so they can mail you your prize. But it's part of the fun that we do here at Computer America. So we're gonna take a short break. Ben, well, no, I guess I'm trying to think of how we're going to do this, because if I close the Hangouts window, I'm sure I'll be coming back, but I'm not sure exactly the process, what the process is. So
well, I might still be the one hosting it, so it would just relinquish control over to me, and you would just.
You go ahead and talk and relinquish the control. All the sound and all the audio will be coming over the Blog Talk Radio Network. So that's. I'll tell you what. I'm just going to do that. You talk, and I'm going to see if I can make this stop and start.
All right, but you know that you're going to have half our audience over there on Blog Talk Radio.
Yes, and they'll continue to listen. Okay, so I'm just going to. To me, and I'm just going to close that. This is the Computer America Show on the Blog Talk Radio Network, on the Boost Radio Network, and the IRN Radio Network. Stand by. Ben is going to be coming back, and hopefully I will be too. So stay tuned. You're listening to the Computer America Show.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're just going to wait here for a second. Hopefully Craig gets back here in a timely fashion. The music went away because obviously that is all being hosted from his computer as well as the network feed. But even though he has all the Blog Talk listeners, we have all of the Computer America live video chat listeners. So, Craig just joined in. Let's see if he...
Computer America.
And Craig is obviously having issues.
Yeah.
Okay, well, while Craig is...
This is the Computer America Show, and I'm your host, Craig Crossman.
And I'm your co-host, Ben.
All right, and I think we're here. And
you're popping in and out. Everything working okay over there?
Everything seems to be working fine, and I just want to make sure we're working fine, and it looks like it is. So anyway, welcome into hour 2 of the Computer America Show, and we just had Wix on the program with us, and we want to, if you missed any of that, you can listen to it again at ComputerAmerica.com and listen to it for yourself on our video archives page. We have our own YouTube channel. You can listen to it on iTunes, all the different places, all available at ComputerAmerica.com. So I think that's pretty much safe to say. And so let's get right to it here. Our second hour guest is here. He's known as the GizWiz, as well as being Mad Magazine's maddest writer. Dick DiBartolo is mad about gadgets, and he's here to share some of them with us tonight. Dick is an official Computer America correspondent who appears here on the last Wednesday Madness of the month. Dick, welcome into Computer America. How the heck are you?
I'm good. And you guys?
Oh, well, we're hanging in there.
Yeah, I see that. I think you need to get 2 new D batteries to run that studio. I think the ones you have are running down.
The hamsters are sick. They have a cold, like a head cold.
Exactly. Now, here's the interesting thing. If you want to, you can follow along on all the things that Dick is talking tonight. If you just go to GizWiz.biz, okay, GizWiz.biz, and you click on the banner there that says non-paid lackey fun on Computer America, you can see everything that we're talking about tonight, so you can kind of follow along, and that just makes it a lot of fun. So let's get started right out of the gate here. And this is kind of cool. And this is a voice changer. But some voice changers can be very, very expensive and very, very super high-techy. But this one is, perfect for Halloween, right?
It's perfect for Halloween. We did it on the GizWiz. My co-host actually bought it out in California, but he bought it at Spirit of Halloween. And we have a local one right down the corner here, but they don't carry this particular voice changer. So it has a little microphone that you clip onto your costume, and then it has buttons on the top so that you can change to different voices. You can change the pitch. You can make robotic effect. The effects are so-so. The thing is, it's $10.
$10.
Yeah, it needs one single 9-volt battery. It has 2 LEDs that flash on and off in sync with your voice. So if you want to wear it on the costume, you could sound different, and the LEDs would be blinking as you talk. Or if you don't want it for this Halloween, it's what I do at this store. I find stuff that I want, and tomorrow everything is full price. But I don't know if you have one in your neighborhood, Craig, but what they do is they rent a store for 1 month. They take an abandoned store or a store that no one is using, and they rent it for 1 single month. So on Halloween, everything is 50% off.
Wow.
So I bought a mirrored ball. I bought some crazy wigs last Halloween.
I see it behind you there, that mirrored ball.
Yes, exactly. So if all goes according to the way it normally does, the voice changer will be $5 on Halloween or $9.99 in the store.
Now, can you use the voice changer? It only uses one 9-volt battery. How many voices does it give you?
It has 10. It has
10 different voices.
Yeah.
Low pitch to high pitch with various amplification, robotic effects.
Exactly. So it's not kids. I think are gonna love it. I think that's
well. At what, $9.99 or $12.99?
It's $9.99. It's on sale. I think they know that they better sell the rest of them fast.
Okay.
Halloween is fast.
Yeah, we have those stores, but we also have we have that Halloween store, but we also have this huge tent that opens up at the local mall, and it's a Halloween. It's got the whole tent is bright orange. It's got a Halloween jack-o'-lantern face painted on it, and go in there and you can get all your Halloween stuff.
Do they do the same thing the day after Halloween? Sell everything half price.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah,
you get so much candy and so much diabetes when you after Halloween.
Yeah, they don't want to ship that stuff back, so it's just easier to dump it. Really.
Yeah, it's like 3 for $1. It's amazing.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah. So, keeping in the spirit of Halloween, now, for those of you who have ever attempted to go out and buy a real pumpkin and then try to carve out a jack-o'-lantern face or something, and you have to cut the and you have to pull all the seeds out, and it can be a little messy. I don't know. When you were a kid, did you do that, Ben? Did you make your own jack-o'-lanterns, or did you buy them pre-made?
Gee, thanks, Dad. Let's see. No, we actually got a whole pumpkin carving kit where it came with like pieces of paper and had like little knives and things like that. Like not real sharp knives because we were kids, but I mean like you could poke the dots in the paper template. Yeah, no, we cut our own.
Well, let me move you into the 21st century, okay? Because Dick has something here that is, if you haven't
Since
carved
it
your,
appears you're calling back into a live show, we are reconnecting you now.
if you haven't carved your pumpkin yet, here is a power pumpkin carving set.
Exactly. It's from Pumpkin Masters, and again, Chad, who's the co-host on the GizWiz, is a big crafts person, so he loves this kind of thing. When I carved a pumpkin when I was a kid, I used a big long knife, and the eyes where you made 3 cuts, so that it made diamond eyes, a diamond nose. So you went in at an angle, and at an angle straight in under. That was his eyes. Then the same thing for his nose. I let someone else make the mouth because you had to do quite a bit of work. So Chad's take on the power saw is it is great for making curves. But he was actually trying to cut out the Twit logo. And he got TWI, and he killed the first set of AA batteries. So his recommendation is a sharp knife for all the straight lines that you're going to carve in the pumpkin, but the power saw, the power pumpkin saw,
For the details.
is dynamite for doing curves, round circles, anything like that.
Have you? I mean, how effective is it? I mean, does it do a good job? I mean,
He did a great job because he did it on camera. It does do a very nice job, but again,
is it an actual saw or is it?
it's an actual little saw blade. Exactly, you get 2 blades, and you get a little punch like Ben was talking about. He said that was really junky and it went out of shape after about 3 minutes. But he did what Ben did, and this kit comes with the same thing that Ben was talking about: stencils for pumpkin faces.
I got to ask you, is this something that's safe enough to hand to a kid?
You know what? I did not have. I watched Chad making the pumpkin last Thursday on our show, so I don't know.
Was it safe enough to hand to Chad?
Yes, exactly. Chad's a big kid at heart.
No hanging Chads? Okay.
Well, as the parent, you would certainly check it out and not.
I would think so, but I mean, you would think, something that's going to saw, but
you're cutting into a pumpkin. It's mostly adult supervision in the first place.
I think that's true.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially when you're recommending that you use a sharp knife for the straight edges.
Now, who makes Black & Decker? Who makes this?
No.
Okay.
I think beige and white. This thing is $9. So you can imagine what a precision tool this is.
You're not going to find this at the Home Depot or something.
No, exactly. No. If Home Depot just may have a pumpkin, a Halloween shelf.
Yeah, they may be.
Yeah,
I mean,
they might.
You might find this, but if not, you can get it on Amazon or something like that.
Amazon has it. And also most Halloween stuff. Probably that big tent you were talking about.
Probably, I would think so.
They have it.
A power saw carving tool. What will they think of next?
I mean, one thing that a lot of people are doing with pumpkins now is like not cutting all the way into it. Like, is it just simply don't hold it straight up to the pumpkin and let it carve halfway out, or is it kind of an all or nothing deal?
Wait, say it again. I'm sorry.
Like when you carve pumpkins, sometimes you want to leave a little bit of the skin still intact. So when you put the candle in and it glows, you still get like the soft orange color instead of through and through. Could you do that with this kind of tool set?
I don't know.
Okay.
The pumpkin looked pretty good when he was done with it, but as I said, I have a glass pumpkin, a ceramic pumpkin. Just dig out of the closet. I think I got it 2 years ago at the Halloween store.
It's the easiest that what's with the real pumpkins? But if you have to have that experience one time with your kid. You have to let them at least try.
That's true. And it's so memorable that Ben had to remind you how.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And they should. So here's that.
Yeah, but I also have kids that kick in pumpkins, and they're mean. So ceramic would not be good.
That was the year that he lost his index finger when carving off the. No.
Oh,
what are you gonna do?
a memorable experience.
Well, you know what? I tell you, I had a very funny thing with a pumpkin. We had a little Halloween party in my apartment, and I have a backyard. But the guests at the party have no idea that one can go down the cellar and come out in my yard. And what I did was during the party, I would vanish for a couple, and every time I'd go down, I would move the pumpkin 3 feet closer.
That was pretty simple.
And someone said, "What is that pumpkin? Wasn't it all the way in the back of the yard?" I said, "No, it's where it's been, where it has been." Anyway, but when the pumpkin was up against the door, people were getting very worried. So
now, what you could use, and we're going to talk about a little bit later, unless you want to skip to it now. You could have put that set of wheels on the pumpkin.
Oh. That's right. Yes, you could.
And remotely move it. We'll talk about that coming up a little bit. Some of the cool gadgets that Dick's.
Like something Craig would do.
Yeah, exactly. Just have it move. Okay, now this next one. I mean, I loved Back to the Future. I mean, who didn't like the movie? Okay, I saw the first one that came out, and then I saw the other two. When they came out, the second part 2 and part 3. I think it was spaced a month apart. So when they hit the theaters, and it was wonderful.
Really?
Yeah, the part.
I know that.
Yeah, it was like 2 years. The first one was a big hit, and then it took 2 years to come out with part 2 and part 3.
Oh, no! I thought you meant like part 2 and part 3 were
So
like
did
literally
I.
a month later.
No, Back to the Future.
What?
2. Yeah,
Okay.
Back to the Future 3. Yeah, exactly. They came out about a month and a half apart. You would see the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, but one of the big things, of course, was the flux capacitor, and that was so cool. And evidently now, according to Dick, you can have your very own What is this?
Oh, okay, Craig, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. You froze on my screen.
No.
Anyway, yes. This started out as an April Fool's joke on ThinkGeek, that you could buy this USB charger for your car. And like several other things that they did in years past, so many people tried to order it that they thought, you know what, we should make this because people want it.
It was an April Fool's joke. Okay.
It was an April Fool's joke.
A lot of their April Fool's jokes have come to fruition, and evidently this is one of them.
I'm convinced it's just subtle marketing.
Oh,
yeah. Well, some of them are impossible. Like levitating shoes that you just can't make them, but some of them can, and this is one of them. Yeah.
And this is one of them. So it goes into your cigarette lighter, and then anytime it's on, has a little on-off switch in case the blinking light drives someone crazy. You can shut it off, but the whole time you're driving, it is doing its on and off and blinking, and then it actually is a USB charger. So,
but it looks just like the flux capacitor. It's got the little Y-shaped thing. It's got the intense little white lights that are blinking, fluctuating in it, and it's doing its little thing. And that to me would be enough. But the fact that it has 2 USB ports that you can put into it and actually use it as an actual USB charger.
One port is 1 amp and one port is 2.1 amps, so you can charge tablets. And it's on a flexible head, so you can aim the flux capacitor up or down in case it's shining in your eye or anything.
Yeah,
and it's
exactly.
$25.
And I think the difference with the 2.1, it's the 2.1 I think is like the speed charging. Some of the can take a speed charge; it'll charge more quickly with the higher amperage, and this evidently supports that.
Okay, great. Yeah, I thought you just needed the 2.1 for tablets, but
yeah, no, I think some of the smartphones too. They have regular chargers and they have their fast chargers.
Oh, okay.
With the higher amperage, the smartphones will actually charge like in half the time. So, and that works with basically all of them.
Perfect.
Okay, now we talked about the pumpkin power saw. We were kidding about that, but now we're actually going to talk about a real tool from Black & Decker, and I think this is extremely clever. They have some very clever parts. One of the things that I loved about they added to these powered screwdrivers and drills. They an LED light to them, so if it's hard to see, the little light would kind of light up the area. I thought that was a really nice touch. But Black & Decker is not sitting on their laurels. They've come up
and
with
it's not Black & Decker anymore.
It isn't.
For reason, it is now Black Plus Decker.
Oh, Black. And left the company.
And left the company exactly in a
And got fired.
A trademark infringement catastrophe. So this is really neat. First of all, it's 20 volts, so nice and powerful. It's lithium batteries, so you charge it, and 9 months later you take it out of your toolbox. It's still going to be fully charged. When you turn it on, there's a little like dashboard at the top of the drill. It instantly shows you the capacity of the battery, actually the charging state of the battery, and if you're in the screw mode or if you're in the AutoSense mode. So AutoSense is really clever. There's a little microprocessor that analyzes the rate of change in the screw that's being driven. It senses when the tension is getting very hard on the screw and that must be coming flush with the top of the work, and it just stops. It stops within 3 milliseconds of being level with the top of the work.
So in other words, you can't drill it beneath. You don't want to do that. You want to keep it flush. Yeah, you want to.
So the drill stops automatically. If you want to countersink it, you hit the trigger again, and it does quick little turns, almost like you were hand driving it. It'll do like a quarter turn and stop, a quarter turn, a quarter turn. That way you control how far down you want to countersink it. So it's very clever. And the two modes, I'm sorry, I misspoke before. It tells you whether it's in drill mode or in driver mode.
Okay. And what's the difference between drill mode and driver mode is what?
Driver mode is when you're actually driving the screws into the wood, and drill mode is when you're making holes into
Craig.
wood.
You didn't know that?
I was just clarifying for our listeners in case they weren't aware. So you can use it for both. You can use it as a drill or
a drill or a driver, exactly.
And I assume it has all the different bits that you can just put into it.
Well, we'll take any size bit you want, but built into the base is a little holder for the driver, so that you don't have to go hunting around. You probably have your own set of drills, but the driver, there's one right on the base. And also Black Plus Decker is doing what a lot of companies are doing now, is that the battery pack is interchangeable with many of their other tools.
Yeah.
Great.
Lithium ion is great. I mean, I recently purchased a lithium ion, well, not so recently, about 3 or 4 months ago, and it's still working on the first charge. The other one that I replaced was NiCad, and they would die.
NiCad, yes.
Now you can keep this thing. These lithium ions will hold their charge for like up to 18 months. You can and it's just. I grabbed it the other day. It was sitting on the workbench. It had a full charge. I didn't need to do anything to it.
Does that say something about lithium ion, or does that say about your handyman skills?
Both. Okay, so
6 months later, still first charge.
That's it, exactly. So now let me just understand it. So this is not another company called Black Plus Decker. It is the original Black & Decker.
Yeah. If you go to the Black Plus Decker website, you'll see it's the standard logo that you've known all these years. I have no idea.
Why? They've had it for years. Why would they have to change it?
Maybe it's rebranding.
I have no idea. I have no. Probably someone spent $500,000 in market research, and they said, Black & Decker sounds old, but Black Plus Decker, that just screams youth and being with it.
I don't think. I think
kids all the time, and Plus is.
Now when the guys split up, they can be Black minus Decker.
And it's more trippingly off the tongue when you say Black & Decker, Black Plus Decker. That you have to stumble over it. You have to stumble over it. I think they should they go out and bring And back to the company and use Black & Decker, but that's just me. Anyway, moving on. Now, the big thing now today is selfies. We just did a news story the other day about how people were taking selfies and they were being warned not to take dangerous selfies because they could kill themselves. They were taking selfies of themselves with like bears in the background. you know, or what was this one guy went to in the New York Zoo? He took a selfie. He crawled into the tiger cave.
Are you kidding
While
me?
the tiger was sleeping, and he took a selfie with himself and the tiger sleeping.
You know, I think New York actually banned pictures with big cats because that was actually popular where people were going, to these, roadside zoos or whatever, and they were taking pictures with big cats, and it's illegal, so they actually banned them.
Holy
for that
cow.
for the reason that you kill yourself. Anyway, and someone's come up with something. If you want to do it, you want to do it more safely and easier. You now have a selfie booth.
Yeah, selfie booth. It's great for parties, or if you're a person who puts on benefits. This is a great thing to set up at an event, and it's from Jack's Pacific. They make a lot of toys. It's an adult-sized selfie booth. It has all the wiring, and it's like a pop-up tent, except it's a pop-up rectangular selfie booth.
Right.
We had 3 adults in it, so it's for kids or adults. It has its own green screen in the back. It has a built-in holder for your tablet, whether it be an iPad or any of the Galaxy, whatever tablet you have.
Yeah.
And you download the free app.
Mhm.
It comes with 15-stick costume props, so that you can hold the props as you take the selfie. So it's iOS and Android. And there are more than 50 backgrounds, and it works really well. I took a picture of me with the Golden Gate Bridge. You can also shoot 5-second video shorts, and you can email them. I believe she said you can email them directly from the app.
Wow.
So it's pretty clever. And then later on when I got home, I was reading through the press materials, and although I only saw the adult version at the show, which is going to be about $60, it said there was a kids version in the work, and that might be out for Christmas. That's going to be considerably smaller and about $35. So selfie booth from Jack's, spelled Jakks Pacific.
And it looks like a little booth, and it's got the little curtain on it.
Yeah, it's very clever. It's very clever. And when you see that curtain, that it's slit, and you just walk in there, and you're in your little booth.
And you can
The green screen. The back wall's the green screen.
It works with whatever camera that you bring. I mean, tablet or
Yes, whatever your tablet is. You bring up the backgrounds on the tablet, so you sit facing your tablet, you pick out the background that you want, and then when it shoots the video, since you're sitting against a green screen, it puts you and up to 3 other people into the photo.
There you go. Very, very nice.
Yeah, very clever.
Very, very clever.
Much classier than the bathroom selfie.
or the selfie in the tiger cage. Yes, exactly.
That's it.
Less dangerous. All right. So for all the wannabe or upcoming chefs out there, and I know Ben is one of them because I know he likes to cook.
Upcoming.
Well, that's good because the CEO of the company is named Ben.
There you go. I want you to, we were going to meet the Drop, or it's just called Drop. And this is an iPad connected kitchen scale and recipe app.
You know what? He did a demo. I'm not a cook. Are you a cook actually, Craig?
I like to cook, but Ben is the cook in the family, I think.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Yep. So, it has all the recipes, but the neat thing is, it says cup of flour, and you only have 7/8 of a cup of flour. So you just put that on the scale, and it instantly takes the recipe and changes the recipe so that the recipe calls for 7 of a cup of flour.
So you take whatever ingredient you're the most.
Whatever ingredient you have, and also you don't need a measuring cup because what you do is you put the bowl on the scale, which is tied to the app. Yeah. Then it says you need so much of this. All you do is start putting it in the bowl, and a bar from the bottom of the screen starts coming up, like there is a virtual measuring cup on the screen. You just start sprinkling the stuff in until the bar reaches the line. That ingredient's done.
That's neat.
Tells you the next ingredient. You start putting that in when the bar comes up. That ingredient is done. So you don't need to measure anything. And then it gets to an ingredient you don't have. You hit the substitute, and it said in place of this ingredient you can use these things.
So if you don't have butter, you can put oil.
It'll tell you. It tells you you can use this, or this. So it seems really clever to me. Right now, it's only iOS, the iPad, the Air, and the Mini. And he said Android's coming in 2015. And right now, actually, as of a couple of weeks ago, it was available for $80 with free shipping. So I'm not sure if that's changed or not. It's getdrop.com is the website.
So what you really get is the scale. That's the key thing.
Yes, you get the scale in the app. Exactly.
Now, but it won't work with an iPhone. It'll work with an iPad, but it won't work with an iPhone because
no, the on the list of stuff he gave me, there was no
phone.
iPhone.
Well, if the scale connects via USB.
No, connects. It's wireless.
Oh.
It's wireless.
Yeah, it's wireless. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure why.
Well, maybe we can give Ben a call.
Are you sure it doesn't say like iOS and?
No, it says right now it supports iPad Air, Mini, and 3rd and 4th generation.
With Android coming in 2015.
Yeah. Well, maybe the app. It has to be the app. Maybe the app is designed just for the iPad. Interesting. You don't see too many things like that. Usually, if it's for the iPad.
Maybe because you know the cup and all the stuff you would see on the screen, it'd be too small for the phone.
With the 6 Plus though, that's pretty big, you know.
Yeah, well, maybe he didn't know about the 6 Plus. It's highly possible that they didn't see the 6 Plus when they wrote up their press materials. He didn't see anything yet. I don't think the 6 Plus was out October 1st, right?
I bet you if you give Ben a call, you know, and Ben Harris will go and say, hey, we'll work with the 6 Plus.
Well, Ben has to call Ben. He's the cook.
That has. Yeah, okay.
Hey Ben, you can make I mean, something like that could actually make, you know, like myself a better cook, because when I do cooking, I can tell you that, you know, in your example, 7/8 of a cup of flour, I'd just be like, close enough. Who's gonna know?
I'm the same way. I rarely measure. You know, it's just rule of thumb. Oh, the music means we're at the bottom of the hour. Boy, already. Wow. Well, we're gonna have to take a break. We have a news tips bulletin review from Marty Winston coming up as well. It's going to be his Halloween version, and then a scary version. And then we'll continue on with Dick DeBartolo. You listen to us on the Blog Talk Radio Network, the Boost Radio Network, and the IRN Radio Network. The GizWiz is here with us. We'll be right back with him. Stay with us. Looking for a best friend? Brother Wolf Animal Rescue has your best friend waiting just for you. The mission is to protect and enhance the lives of companion animals and the people who love them. Their no-kill rescue shelter is open year-round, making it easy for people to adopt their best new friend. This year, Brother Wolf will find homes for over 2,400 orphan dogs, puppies, cats, and kittens. All have ended up as an orphan through no fault of their own. Brother Wolf has created a safe, nurturing environment where these special animals can heal emotionally and physically until they find a lifelong home. Their life-saving transport program brings dogs and puppies from overcrowded shelters in the south to rescues in the north where homes are easier to find. Brother Wolf Animal Rescue is a 501c3 organization. To learn more about their life-saving work and to make a donation, visit their website at www.bwar.org. That's www.bwar.org. Help to realize Brother Wolf's vision when no animal is euthanized for lack of a home.
Who's a good boy?
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-866-663-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. So, disable the cable and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-866-663-MyTV right now to sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99 and up to 4 rooms. And there's no equipment to buy. That includes your free HD TV upgrade, your free DVR upgrade, and your free professional installation. And the best part, the pristine digital picture and sound. Call 1-866-663-MyTV. So, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-866-663-MyTV. 1-866-663-MyTV. Disable the cable, cut costs, and get more. Call 1-866-663-MyTV. 1-866-663-MyTV.
Hello, this is Marty Winston with a News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America. This one might step a little bit on the spooky side because it's about a brand new LED pen light that shines in ultraviolet, the new Nightstick MTU 106. Street price, $23. 2 AAA cells power it for about 45 minutes. Now, here's why a UV light is fine. Fine, fun, frightening, all of that. Biologicals fluoresce, meaning if you go into a restroom and shine it at the sink or other facilities, the glow that you get back might scare you more than a little. If you go to a hotel room, to a restaurant, looking even at the menus, the glassware, the silverware, anywhere where the lights are dim, this light can make germs glow, organisms glow. And you know what? It's all pretty normal. We don't recommend that you use it to grade your host or hostess or your spouse, certainly not your spouse. But we do think that this kind of facility in your pocket is a really, really cool way to double check yourself. When you clean the sink, did you get it clean? When you're cleaning your cooking or food prep area, if you didn't get it clean, dim the overhead lights, bring out this pen light, and the places you missed will shine and glow right back at you. You'll find other reasons too. It's a little bit of that CSI effect with the MTU 106 ultraviolet LED pen light from Nightstick. Bottom line, it glows fantastically. This is Marty Winston with a News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America.
Welcome back to the Computer America Show. I think those screams were a little bit unnecessary, but I feel like a little bit in there where he's like, you shouldn't use it to go, grade your, whoever's hosting your party. You just go throughout their house, just, checking for biological entities.
Would you bring this into a public restroom? Come on. I wouldn't want to know.
I mean, you don't walk into a nuclear power plant and say, "Is there radiation here?" I mean, you know what you're expecting.
Exactly. I just don't want to know.
So don't buy the pen.
Okay.
So,
anyway. Yeah.
Welcome back to the Computer America Show. Dick DeBartolo is still here with us, and we are talking about all some new devices that he's found. And this one is from a beautiful piece of the country called the Kodiaks.
Oh, it's a Kodak goofball.
Oh my God, they're alive, right?
They're alive, yes. Well, thanks to JK Imaging, they're alive. There are about 6 or 7 Kodak cameras out there now, all of them very unique. And this one is from Pepcom, and it's the Kodak Pix Pro SP360 Action Cam.
Is this the same Kodak that we knew and loved years ago, or is it a different?
You know what? It's a license. It's a worldwide licensing deal with the original Kodak.
Got it.
People, so they use the same colors and the Kodak name.
Okay.
With the full use permission of Kodak.
Okay.
So this is a 360-degree camera, and I carried it around at Pepcom. It really is amazing because you can stand there, and if you hold it in the air, you can just turn this thing around and see everybody in the entire room.
Wow.
And there's no stitching. I don't quite understand it. That you can actually make a video of the entire room, and then when you put it on your iPad, or they said the best thing is to feed it to a big TV set through your iPad, and then as you turn the iPad around, you can see everybody who was at the event that you were at.
Ah.
360 degrees.
Oh, it uses the gyroscope in the iPad.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, it's virtual, like virtual reality. Yeah, exactly.
Really neat. And on their website, they have a couple of people who've jumped out of airplanes with them, and
Did they have parachutes? Hopefully.
yes, they did.
All right.
Someone doing a selfie. Look, no parachute.
hey guys, watch this. Exactly.
And so there are two different. Actually, there's one model, but you buy it depending on what you want. For example, if you're going to use it underwater, then you buy the one that comes with the underwater case, or they have something called the Extreme Pack, which is $3.99, and that includes every conceivable gadget they have for the camera to put it on your bike, on your helmet, take it underwater, and extremely well built. As a matter of fact, when I was playing with it, I dropped it on the floor, and I said, "Oh, I'm sorry." And the woman said, "What does it matter? Don't worry about that. We drop it on the floor all the time, just as a little demo thing." Yeah, it's pretty neat. The SP360 from Kodak.
And the Extreme Pack gives you all the things that you
Every
get.
single, yes,
The bike mount, the helmet mount, the underwater mount, all that stuff. Yeah, that's nice. And it's available now because it says late.
It is available, yes, the end of October, so we're there.
We're there. Yeah, so it's available. So if you're looking for a really kind of unique way to take images, pictures with a 360-degree flare, this camera's got your name written all over it. Okay, very cool.
And Kodak's name written all over it.
And Kodak's, yes, exactly. So now you always attend a lot of these different conventions and showcases, and not only there's something called the Luxury Products Showcase.
Yes. This show happens once a year, and I look forward to it because it's stuff that is wildly expensive.
Like the Rob Report and
kind of, yes, the kind of thing that you would see in there. Like I think they call it Energica Ego. So this is an all-electric motorcycle.
Wow.
Built and designed by the people who designed the Formula One racing cars.
Beautiful.
It is a lot of it is fiberglass, a lot of it is carbon, but this can go from 0 to 150 to 100 miles an hour in 3 seconds. Okay. Wow. And it's electric. So I mean, we're talking. I think they start at 35,000 miles. You can charge this guy 85% in just 30 minutes. So the range is, I'm trying to think of the range was, I think it was 100 and, I thought I had written it down here. Anyway, the thing is, when you get to your office, if your office is far away, you can just plug it in, and in 30 minutes you'll be back to 85% charge. What was really neat about it is it's almost silent, no emissions, and it is beautifully designed. It is really a great-looking machine. And
by the way,
nothing else, just watch the video.
And people think that electric motorcycles are quiet. Not true in this case. This thing lets out a roar like an F1 car. According to this, it's
good.
Yeah, no, exactly. And
because it's motorcycles already suffer from the problem of people don't tend to see them. They don't check for them, and they tend to ride in blind spots. So I mean, noise was really the one thing that the old Harleys and stuff had going for them.
Yeah. Now the range is, they say, about 150 kilometer range. They're not giving it in miles per hour. Of 150 kilometers.
What is that?
Do the calculation.
Yeah, a kilometer is it 1
0.6?
mile.
0.6. It's small.
0.6 kilometers to a mile.
Yeah, so 150 kilometers.
No,
So
0.6 miles to a kilometer. There we go.
yeah. So maybe about 120 miles.
What? No, something like
No,
100.
the other direction, right?
No, a kilometer is shorter than a mile. So in
shorter
miles,
than
it'd probably be about 100 miles.
About 100 miles
Okay.
on a single charge. But this is one heck of a beautiful bike. I mean, I'm not big into motorcycles, but this is something that
Neither
looks.
am I, but I was really attracted to it when I walked.
Yeah, it's very attractive.
When I walked into the hall, I saw the motorcycle after I saw the airplane. I have never walked into an exhibit hall in Manhattan. It's a full-size airplane.
No, my gosh.
In the exhibit. And I emailed the company that they never responded. I said, tell me, how many parts was that plane in to get it in that hall? It's a 34.8-foot wingspan.
Wow.
And there is something about the aircraft is from a company called Cirrus like the clouds. And there is something amazing about every plane they make. Every plane they make features CAPS. And CAPS stands for Cirrus Airframe Parachute System.
Ah.
There's a parachute that will land the passengers in the airplane.
Oh.
So if there's an emergency, the engine stops, whatever, you pull the thing, it fires this parachute up into the air. And when the parachute opens, it can land the airplane with the occupants. Now you have no choice of where you land, but you have a good chance of hopefully saving you and your aircraft.
Now does the parachute on the tail, and so the plane is like vertical, or does it stay horizontal?
The plane is horizontal. It fires it up from the center of the plane.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so that the plane is coming down.
Great.
Almost like a helicopter.
Wow.
Would be coming down like a helicopter. The newest one they were showing was their flagship model. It had Garmin instrumentation and every leather seats, and it sat 4 or 5 depending on the size of the.
What did that cost?
The most expensive thing they make is $700,000. They have planes, I think, that start about $300,000. But in 2015, they're coming out with their first personal jet airplane.
No.
Yes.
Wow.
That is close to, I think it was $1.8 million.
Now, does the jet have the parachute too, or is that just on the?
You know what? That's very interesting. I don't think so. I didn't ask, but that's a very good
moving
question.
at jet speed, man, that's going to rip the parachute.
Well, the thing is, you would have to be smart enough to not fire it until you were
out of gas.
Yeah, not at supersonic speed anymore.
I agree with.
I mean, like you say, jet. You're talking about like jet engine.
Yeah,
fly.
yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Personal jet.
Personal jet. Yeah.
I think Computer America should have a personal jet.
I think we should.
Fly people out to CES for the day.
Let Ben fly it.
It'd be so much cooler getting groceries.
Ben, take the jet over with it.
Yeah.
Exactly. So those are the two most impressive things you saw.
They were really belonged at the luxury.
Did they have anything like any watches or something there?
They did. They had. You know what? They had watches that were like thousands of dollars. Are you a watch person?
Yes, I am. I'm a watch.
Yeah. You see, I'm not attracted to those watches because they're watches. They don't even do anything. I mean, they tell time with. Incredible.
Well, yeah, of course, yeah. You can spend. I mean, they're works of art. I mean,
they're works of art.
Billion technology, but they're mechanical. Of course, the electronic watches today can probably do a heck of a lot more than those, but they don't have the craftsmanship, that was involved. So it is a much more vertical marketplace, granted. But did you see the Apple Watch being demonstrated? By the way,
no, I did not.
I'm probably gonna get one of those.
You didn't miss anything.
That's an amazing watch, yeah.
What did you say?
I said you didn't miss anything.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I think
I see that the family is not in unison.
exactly.
This might be the thing that divides us finally.
But Ben does have an iPhone, and,
Okay.
he has
So does everyone else. What's your point?
I don't.
Oh, Android and Apple, they're all the same.
I have a touch, and that's my only iOS product.
Yeah, I grew up the generation wearing a watch. To me, I need to have a
Oh, I
watch.
love watches. I mean, I have, I bought every kind of, the first Casio remote control watch that could control your TV, your
Are you
TV set.
Are you wearing a watch now?
Yeah, I'm wearing the Gear 2.
Okay, so here's my watch, so you can see it. Hey, that's my watch.
Oh, okay.
So, but I'm gonna get the Apple Watch. I think it's a pretty cool. Anyway, let's continue on. This next is for time to play holiday toy spectacular. This is another convention that you
Yeah,
go to.
another convention, yeah. Now, this to kids, this would be the ideal toy for a kid who wants to go to the luxury product show. Although this was at the Time to Play Holiday Spectacular. This is really neat. It's from Kid Tracks, Tracks and Tracks spelled TRAX, and it's the Kia Soul sing-along DJ ride-on car.
Okay.
So this has headlights, tail lights, underbody lights, so it glows blue under the car. It's 12-volt operated. It runs at either 2.5 or 5 miles an hour. The parent sets that. You open the rear door, and there are 2 speakers ringed in 100 LEDs. There are 2 working microphones. There are iPod jacks both in the trunk area and in the cabin, so you can play their music anywhere in the car. It has its own FM radio. It is really neat. It's not cheap. Actually, it's not cheap, but it's not wildly expensive.
Oh.
It's about $400, $399.99, and it's just going to be at Toys R Us, and it comes in green, orange, and purple.
Yeah, but now all we need is some Rockstar glasses. Oh wait.
Yeah, they come with that. It was very funny because the lady was wearing them, and I did a little video with the glasses. And as a joke, I said, "You get the glasses with the car, right?" And she said, "Absolutely." And I said, "Are you serious?" And she said, "Yeah. You have a Rockstar car, you need Rockstar glasses."
It comes with 2 pairs of Rockstar glasses.
Exactly.
Yeah. One for you, one for your passenger. This is really cool.
Yeah,
and again, it's exclusively at Toys R Us.
Toys R Us.
We were looking at this little kid cards the other day. It was up on, I think it was eBay or something they had. It was a little miniature Mercedes-Benz,
Oh, I've seen that. That also is amazing.
That is amazing. I said Ben would love something like that in case, I think that
in case you ever just need a backup to keep in the trunk.
That's right. You pull it out the trunk.
You blow a tire, you open up the trunk, and you just ride away in your mini Benz.
Mini Benz. They're cute. All right. So now also you've done a review of the Galaxy, Samsung's Galaxy Note 4.
Exactly. So they had a 3-week loan for reporters, and I've had mine for about a week now, and I thought 5.7 inch was going to be like out of control, but I've gotten so used to my Galaxy 5 that the slightly bigger screen I thought it was really great. It's Super AMOLED. 2560 by 1440. A beautiful screen. It has this. Maybe this is what you're talking about, Craig. Is this new supercharging, where in 30 minutes the battery can go from 0 to 50%.
That's useful.
Yeah, and it's a big battery in this guy. 3,220 milliamps.
Wow.
32 gigabytes of internal memory, and it also, the SD card can take up to the new 120 gigabyte micro SD card.
Yeah.
So you have a ton of memory. The rear-facing camera is 16 megapixels. And also they did something interesting is that the front-facing camera does wide-angle selfies. So if you happen to have a lot of friends, they can all be in the camera at the same time.
Wow.
The thing I haven't played much with is the S Pen. Have you ever any fun with an S Pen?
No, I have not messed with the S.
With a Samsung? Yeah. Evidently, I'm just getting to that part of the review thing, where you can use the S Pen to select content and drag and drop and copy and paste. It's easier than using your finger. That part I know already.
Yeah, a little bit more pinpoint.
Exactly.
Well, listen, I want to skip ahead to the next 5 because it was I don't know if I have time to get, so I wanted to at least get this. I mentioned at the beginning, and we were talking about the pumpkin moving a few feet. You've got something here called the freewheel. Which is something quirky from Quirky, and this is really you should put this on a pumpkin or something.
Yes, this is coming. They hope to have it out by the holidays. If not, it'll probably be in January at CES. So Quirky is the company that you go to them and say, I have an idea for a very quirky thing, and if they like it, they will provide money and help produce it, and you'll share in the money that they make. So it's called Freewheel, and basically it's 2 sets of wheels that are Bluetooth control, and the wheels, you pull the wheel open and there's a big clip in the middle, and then you put whatever you want in the clip, and then you close the wheels in on that. So in the video there's a kid sending the teddy bear around the room. There's someone who put a board between it, and they're sending drinks to their friends. And so Freewheel is a way to put wheels on just about anything up to 5 pounds.
I could see a pumpkin on this,
Yeah. Okay. Well, you're going to have to do it next year because the earliest it'll be out is December. It's going to be about $100.
I can see a little pumpkin on this thing wheeling around the room.
Yeah. And the neat thing is you can change the load anytime you want. Just open those clips and put something else in there.
Very, very cool. And then right beneath that, we've talked a lot about 3D printers and everything. Here's a new 3D scanner.
A 3D scanner. I know very little about scanners, but there were a lot of people. This is yet another event called Get Geeked, and this is another company that slightly changed their name. They used to be called Matterform, and now they've changed the name of the company to Matter and Form.
So
probably next year it'll be Matter Plus Form.
Exactly.
What Black Plus Decker has done. So this almost looks like an old-fashioned 45 RPM record player. It folds up like that, and you unfold it. There's a video camera in there and a turntable, and so you put the thing that you want to scan on the little turntable. It can be up to 9.8 inches high and about 7 inches in diameter, and then you just hit whether you want a fast scan or if it has to be detailed. Then you'll hit the there are 3. You'd hit the slowest scan
resolutions. Yeah,
the resolution. It can do up to 2,000 points per second. Wow. And then you what the output is, and I don't even know what the is. It's like .stl and .obj. I don't know a lot about scanners, but this was getting a lot of attention, and it's I think it was $579.
Yeah, it was a Kickstarter project, and they secured $2 million in investment for this.
They did well with that.
They did very, very well with that, and it makes it so. Basically, it is a 3D scanner, and if you're interested in that, it's certainly available. I think we have time to do one more here, and we have so many different gadgets. Now, there was, I think. Well, let's do the one, the Houseware Affordables Innovation Show.
Oh, okay. Yes, there's some fun stuff there. I didn't expect to find stuff.
Yeah, and I don't know if we have time to do all 3, but we can try. Let's start with a beautiful wine glass.
The wine glass. It was a great-looking wine glass, and I said to the woman, "Why is this wine glass like stapled down here. And
Mhm.
what is that steel ball? And she said, oh, it's to show you that this is a new formula that contains titanium within the mixture for the glass.
Mhm.
And so what you do is you bring this ball on a spring away from the glass and you let it go, and it hits the glass, and you get a beautiful ring from the glass, but the glass doesn't break.
Wow.
It's amazing because it is very thin glass. These really look like very expensive
quality.
glasses. I mean, they're 2 for $25, so they're
Wow.
expensive, but not crazy expensive. And then the other thing is a little lever you push against the glass, and you can bend the stem, and it doesn't snap off.
Wow.
So it is very clever. It's a new line called the Supremo line from Luigi Bormioli.
Wow.
But I thought they were really great.
And again, you can see all the things that we didn't cover again at GizWiz.biz, and just click the computer non-paid lackey fund on Computer America. Dick, what are you up to? What's
You know,
coming
it's
up?
interesting. I just got interviewed by ARP magazine, who's doing a special feature on people who have contributed to Mad Magazine for more than 50 years. And
Wow.
when I said to the editor, ARP, why do I want to be in ARP? And he said, because their circulation is over 22 million. And I said, oh, I want to be in ARP. The largest circulation of any magazine. So
ARP,
probably
yeah.
next year.
Wow. Okay. Well, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Well, Dick, listen again. Always a pleasure having you here on the show. And again, we're going to see you next month.
The end of November.
The end of November, right? Just before. Actually, it's just before. What we're going to have to do is a Thanksgiving week is there. So, but you'll be just before we take off Thanksgiving, the 26th. So you'll be our last show before the Thanksgiving holiday.
Perfect.
So we are looking forward to having you there with us. Stay with us to the end. We always on our video, okay? And coming up tomorrow night, Ben, we have a company called TrueLink. And we're going to have an expert talking about from TrueLink Financial, and they're talking about seniors and how vulnerable seniors are to online scams.
90
Why are you
seconds.
telling me? I have access to the show calendar. It's
Yeah, I know. Online
You're
scams.
supposed to act surprised, Ben.
Oh, really? Oh my God! Seniors are at risk. My God.
Yes, they are at risk. You wouldn't think it, but
Those
evidently.
poor AARP members.
Yeah. And they have a thing called TrueLink, which is going to help protect them, and we're going to cover issues about some of the steps that adult children should take to protect their elderly parents
60
from
seconds.
losing money, and to protect them from the Nigerian banking schemes that you fell prey to, Ben.
Hey, you can't always weed everyone out. You got to trust.
That's right, exactly.
I got my 20 million.
That's it, and that's all that counts,
It's like winning the lottery. You just have to find the one.
Hey, listen, thanks everybody for being with us here tonight. Again, thanks to Eric Mason with Wix, enlightening us all the cool things that are happening with Wix technology. Again, you can see everything at our archives page at computeramerica.com. Thanks so much to everybody for being with us here tonight, and we'll see you all tomorrow night. So until tomorrow night, this is Craig Crossman hoping that your hard disk never becomes floppy. Have a great evening. We'll see you tomorrow night.
10 seconds.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
Okay, and thanks everybody for watching here on our after show, live Computer America video streaming page. And thanks for being with us, and we will see you all tomorrow night.
See you November 26th.
All right, Dick, thanks again.
You're welcome.
Take care, everybody.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.